Hey guys, what up? It's your boy Khan, TDK, Mr. So Real. And if you're like me and you're on the PS4, you haven't been watching so many vids on the Underground DLC because, let's face it, it's kind of like standing by watching your girl get it while all you can do is cry in the corner with a gun in your mouth waiting for like Liam Neeson to bust through the window or come kick down the door and save you from the nightmare. But the bad news is Liam Neeson ain't coming until August, and I can promise you, them dudes that's going to town is not gonna wait. But anyway, you get the picture. So it seems like there's been quite a bit of confusion and speculation about what's going to be available in the 1.3 patch come July 5th. So the homie Big Jim went around the internet and found an article on Kotaku, which led me to go back to the Ubisoft blog and dig around and kind of look at what stuff we're supposed to get in the 1.3 patch and what stuff comes in August. So let's talk about what there is to expect and what we need to do when the 1.3 drops. Alright, if you've been following the comments on my previous videos, you may have seen that I said that I doubt the new weapons will be in the 1.3 free update. The reason being was because they were talking about new talents as well to go with the new weapons that were baked in. And with the blind set, they like to show off the gun that had the blind thing kind of talent attached to it. Now that weapon isn't available for PC or Xbox, and it definitely won't be available for us. They're working on it. I guess they said that it wasn't working. They showed it at E3 for some reason, but it's apparently not working. So with all of that being shown, I just kind of thought that maybe they weren't going to put that stuff in there, which included the weapons. And when I looked at the patch notes the first time, I think the first one that I looked at, it just had all the information just kind of garbled together. But looking at the Kotaku breakdown, which seems like it was a rip from the blog patch notes, I don't know that that patch notes seemed different from when I first saw it. But anyway, it's much clearer and easier to understand, and it's easy to see what is the 1.3 stuff that comes in the free patch on the 5th of July, and it's easy to see what's going to be in the August stuff. And this is good news because the weapons are going to be in the patch coming on the 5th, which I'm really excited about. That's really, really good news. So yeah, be on the lookout for those weapons, and here's a list of them. I hope you were looking at all of them. There's a list. So take a look at those, and those are going to be the weapons that we will get to play with in the meantime, waiting for the August update. One of the other things that they make really clear about the 1.3 update that we will have access to is the new gear set, the Alpha Bridge gear set. So please keep in mind that only one new gear set we will be able to get in the update. This Alpha Bridge is kind of like Nomad 2.0 on steroids. It's got some pretty good stuff. The 2-piece set lets you carry 2 extra med kits. The 3-piece gives you 100% heal time increase, and the 4-piece of the Alpha lets you take advantage of 6 perks instead of 3. Now, when I first heard about this, I thought that it unlocked perks that you may not have met the requirements for, but apparently that is not the case. It basically, you have to use 2 weapons of the same archetype, like 2 LMGs, 2 SMGs, 2 snipers, 2 ARs, and the perks that are unlocked on those weapons are kind of stacked on the weapon that you'll be using. So instead of having 3 perks, you basically have 6. The one drawback is that you have 2 of the same weapons in your primary and in your secondary, but you have to admit 6 talents on 1 weapon sounds pretty sick. Keep in mind that if you meet the requirements or if you don't meet the requirements, sorry, if you don't meet the requirements, you won't get the talent. It's not going to be in there. So there, that is very different. I was really under the assumption that if you didn't meet the requirements with the set, it would just let you use them for free, but that is not the case. Um, yeah, so that is kind of a bummer, but yeah, I'm actually happier to hear that you get 6 perks or 6 talents on one weapon. That really sounds cool, especially if you think about the kinds of builds you can make around the set, with the versatility of the weapons and the types of rolls you get on your guns. That is pretty cool. And just to get all of those talents on one weapon is, yeah, it's really nice. And one other thing of note about the set is, lower gear score weapons have lower requirements for the talents to be unlocked. This was one thing that, my homie Paul, he kind of turned me on to, because cool headed you could get on a pistol, and he wanted cool headed, when we were doing the incursions, to kind of get his skill power stuff up, his talents up, and I think he rolled or he made like a crappy little pistol, like a blue or a purple, and it had cool headed on it, and he used it, and it was like almost it was like comical how low the requirements were. So kind of keep that in mind, because if you still have the old weapons, that you had, with maybe like a god roll on them, keep them around. You can put those talents to use with the alpha bridge, and you may have an even godlier god roll weapon, stacking all of that stuff together. So you may have 2 different weapons that have really good, rolls on them, and then putting all of that together would, just be something amazing. So if you had some, like, one weapon that did a lot of damage, like it was, brutal, deadly, and ferocious or something like that, I don't know, or responsive, and then you had another one that was like giving you a lot of health back, so you could be tons of damage and getting health back, and just kind of be like the Terminator or whatever. So seems pretty cool. The alpha bridge is going to be in the new, July update, so keep that in mind and keep a lookout for that. Okay, so now that I've pretty much covered the stuff that we're going to get, some of the key points that we're going to get, what is it that you should be doing first when this patch drops for the PS4? Well, of course, that depends on your gear score. If you're past or over the 225, you might want to test out one of the heroic difficulty missions to see if you can get the 229 high end or the 268 gear set piece. There will be 6 heroic difficulty story missions available that you can take your pick from. The previous challenge mode missions, Russian Consulate, Lincoln Tunnel Checkpoint, Lexington Event Center, the Warren Gate Power Plant, all of those will have a heroic difficulty. And then plus they'll have 2 newly added, the Hudson Refugee Camp and Queens Tunnel Camp. They will all get a challenge mode difficulty and a heroic difficulty as well, as from what I'm believing. The heroic missions will not be dailies, so you don't have to worry about being forced to play them if you're fresh level 30. You won't be subjected to that torture of being hunted by the wolves just yet. If you wanted to go for something faster, you could try and see about the weekly HVTs, see if they have anything good. But if you don't want to risk your intel points, because remember, if you die during a weekly HVT, your points are gone, you can just try out an old mission that you and your squad know that you can do, one of those story missions. I haven't seen if the difficulty will be up to 35 in any kind of person's game that's been on YouTube. I'm really trying not to look at a lot of that stuff. I don't want to spoil the surprise for myself. So yeah, I haven't heard anything about HVTs being level 35. So I guess we'll just kind of have to wait and see if any of that higher end stuff drops from those. But if it does, that will be probably one of the faster ways to do it, but the thing is, it'll be weekly, so you only get about 4 chances to pick anything up, probably 2, maybe 1. So just kind of keep that in mind. The new Dark Zone bracket that drops the 228 high ends, 229 high ends and the 268 gear sets won't be available until you get into the, I think it's 231 plus bracket. So you'll probably need to do some of the story missions on Heroic or the HVTs that drop the higher end stuff, or even the incursion. Remember the incursions that we have available, Broken, was it Clear Sky, and the first one, Falcon Lost. Those are going to have the heroic mission modifiers on them, so if you can clear those with the higher difficulty, you should be able to get the higher end stuff. And because the reset will be at the same time, you might be able to get double. You might be able to get a nice fat stack of gear that's really high end if you can clear the incursions with that stuff. So kind of, if you have a good solid team, you may want to, you know, kind of get on that. So from reading everything, the patch should add a bit of life for veteran players and a laundry list of things for up-and-comer new players to do. The best part of leveling for the division is that, you know, with the share option, it's easy to help out somebody in your squad mate. So this is really good if you've had some friends that kind of stepped away for a little while and you find that you can get some of the higher end stuff really easy. You might be able to pass some of that stuff down to some of your friends that you don't need when you get into a good position. I highly recommend that solo players start to think about or check out matchmaking or LFG sites, because getting a free piece of gear from a group member is still a free piece of gear that you wouldn't get, you know, or have gotten otherwise. This patch, you know, until August, is just going to be a leveling and retooling patch, with the Alpha Bridge and some new weapons being the basic toys that we get to play with. It sucks that we don't get any new PvE content just yet, but you know, that's the deal, so we'll just have to wait for Liam to come busting through that door with some goodies. So just mark your calendars for August 2nd. We got pretty much less than a month to go. I am sticking with the PS4 people. If you are PS4, I am here with you, brothers and sisters. I'm not picking up any other stuff. If you need any content information about the PS4 version of the Division, this is the place to be. If you have any questions or comments or things you'd like for me to look into or make a video about regarding the PS4 or our state with the game, send me a comment or leave a comment down below. Ask away. But until then, basically tomorrow, we got some stuff to look forward to. Hopefully these guns will be awesome. So yeah, thanks for watching the video. I appreciate all you guys' comments and support. You guys have been awesome. I'm trying my best to hang in there with you guys. So really and truly, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for all the support. And until the next video, this is Khan, TDK, Mr. So Real. I'm out.